just excellent on that one, two. Three of the guys on this coaching staff are kids that I used to teach when I did junior high flag football.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started here. This morning we're going to talk about some offensive line techniques concerning pass protection. I don't care again what level you're at. This is one of the hardest things for offensive linemen to master, and I really think that not a disproportionate amount of time has to be spent, but you have to do the right. You have to have the right style of teaching. And what I'm saying is basically this: I've taught it different ways over the course of my 27 years of coaching. I've taught it different ways. And each one, I sincerely believe it was the right method, the right way. And as I got a little bit more into the throwing game, more, I went to Michigan State, Kansas, we threw about 40% of the time. When we went to Michigan State, we probably throw the ball almost 50% of the time. And I started really evaluating more what I was doing, how I was doing it, and it might have been responsible for helping me get a chance to go in the NFL and coach the offensive line. I don't know, because we did a nice job of pass protection, and I'm going to tell you part of the reason why. Part of the reason is I had a right tackle who's now playing for the New England Patriots, and a left tackle who's probably going to get drafted this year from Michigan State. So all of a sudden, maybe I was a little bit better coach because I had better players. But the back end, we weren't giving up very many sacks, and the quarterback was, being protected. And the quarterback had a great year, and he's kind of an average quarterback. He didn't make it, but he had a hell of a receiver, a guy named Plexico Burris. He would throw it up, and Plexico would go chase it down. But anyway, some of the stuff I'll go over as we go over it. If there's something that, like technique-wise, and I think, last night we were talking about the pull techniques and those kind of things. That's really more what these clinics are about, is getting those techniques down where you can coach more efficiently. We can sit in a bar or a lounge or a restaurant or out here in the lobby or whatever and talk about different plays. And, I can talk about the power play or the zone play, but it might only concern a couple guys in here because they don't run the zone play or they don't run the power play, but a couple other guys do. Now, I talk about these techniques. These concern everybody. So, as we go through them, let's make sure you ask questions. I want this to be interactive. If you would like to get up and show me something that you're doing, whether I think it's correct or not, we can talk through it. But when I've laid this thing out, I worked kind of hard on this presentation because, like I said, when I do these presentations, one reason I take on these presentations is it makes me think. It makes me prepare. And too often times, if you don't get that opportunity to think and prepare, you don't do it. You end up watching a game on TV, or you end up, going to the mall. You just find something else other to do. Play golf. But hey, I take these presentations because I'll sit down for 3 or 4 hours and think about different things that need to be taught and how they need to be taught. And then if I think I've really found something, that I try to incorporate it. Okay? All right, fundamentals of pass protection. It's really important that your offensive linemen understand these things, okay? A vertical flat back. What are we talking about when we say vertical flat back? What does that mean? Anybody here? Yeah, like you're sitting in a chair, you got a back to a chair. Your back should be in this position here, okay? Vertical, okay? Now I'm bent on my knees, but right now I'm just telling you, hey, the worst thing you can have for an offensive lineman on pass protection is this. Absolute worst, okay? Worst thing you can have is leaned over. Now they'll lean over because they don't trust they don't trust their lower body, or they don't use a good bend of their knee. That's first thing why they lean over, okay? They'll put their hands way out here because they don't trust their feet. And we'll talk about some of these things as we go. All right, bending the knees. Now these are not in particular order of importance, although I tried to put them there. I felt that if you didn't bend your knees too much, but you had a vertical back, that you could stay in a basketball position and at least screen a guy. You might get knocked back. You might get knocked back, but you can screen the guy off, okay? When you do like this, you're going to lose the guy right away. There's an edge created. You can change your center of gravity. So the first thing is that vertical back. The next thing is we're going to try to bend our knees. There's a term that when we watch film and we're evaluating players, we say he's a waist bender. That means he doesn't play with his knees bent. If a young man doesn't play with his knees bent, you have to figure out how to get him to bend his knees, because that's absolutely the most critical part of pass protection. If he doesn't bend his knees, he can't move. If I'm up like this, when I move, the first thing that moves is what? Your upper body. So when that guy moves, if I don't bend my knees, the first thing that moves is my upper body. If I bend my knees, then the first thing that moves is my lower body. Okay? So what we try to do is we try to make him find drills that's a big part of the drill, is bending your knees. Okay? All right. Next part of it is an inside post foot. Now look, you can talk about pass protection all you want, but you better have him understand the importance of an inside post foot. When I say inside post foot, I'm talking about if this is my inside leg and hand right here, and that post foot should be like that. So in other words, the stagger, the inside foot should be up. Okay? That's the post foot. Now why is that? Because protection always starts from what? Inside out. And it's real important. Too many times, and I'm going to talk about this, we do the mirror drill, and the guy shuffle his feet perfectly square. That's not a mirror drill. That's not what I want. A mirror drill should be mirror pass protection. When a guy moves this way right here, I should put that post foot on. When he moves back this way right here, okay, I think a mirror drill should be working your post foot. He moves back, I restructure my feet. He goes this way. You see how my feet that to me is what I want. To me is a mirror. Because what you're learning is you put your post foot on a guy. Post foot's your power foot. Your stagger foot is your weak side. So when a guy makes a move to the inside, we always want that post foot on, because that puts all that. It's like a post means post. Have you ever run into a post? You can feel the difference. A guy runs into me right here like that, he feels it. When a guy runs into right here, it's a soft edge. It's a soft edge. Where do we want the soft edge created? On the outside. So the post foot is critical. The post foot is critical. Hands tight. Now, I brought up this one time before. I said I want the hands tight. That means that, yes.
Back to the post foot.
Yes.
You're switching your post foot based upon what the defense.
Well, yes. Now let me tell you something. In the mirror drill, I want him to work his post foot. I want him to work his post foot. Correct. Okay. I'm not interested in him just sliding his feet parallel, because you know they never do that. They never do that. Again, I always go back to, when do you ever want them just sliding their feet parallel like this? I don't want them to do that. I want them to be inside foot conscious. As a matter of fact, if you want to do the drill correctly, you tell the left guard to line up just like this and keep that post foot, but he can have penetration on the line to the what? To this side. He can never have penetration to the line to the right. That would be absolutely the best way to do the drill. The reason I make them switch the post feet, they don't do that very much. The reason I do it, okay, is because I want them to work their feet and feel the difference when they hit a guy, why they can stop a guy from crossing the line. When I got a post foot on him and I punch him, he doesn't cross the line. When I got a weak foot, he does cross the line, okay? Now we sit there and don't cross the line and stop with the punch. The punch has nothing to do with it. The punch is alternate to the footwork. It's alternate.
So what do you teach your center if you got a side where you got a backer or
Snap hand.
snap hand?
Snap hand will be his weak side, yes. And yeah, so in other words, his snap hand, when he snaps that ball, okay? I'm going to tell you something. Here's something else I teach. He asked about the center position. I teach the centers to have a slight stagger. The reason I teach that is this. The center always plays with his feet parallel. The center, when he does that, will be one of the worst guys, unless he's athletic, very athletic guy, he'll be one of the worst guys at false steps in the course of pass protection. In other words, he's got his feet parallel, and you got him checking the linebacker to the outside backer. You know, like a dual read. He'll go like this. He'll snap the ball, and because his feet are parallel, he'll take his foot here and drive it forward. That's what I call false step. Now, we don't want him to do that. He drives it forward, and then he gets out. He's now out about a half a second later than normal, because there's a big difference between that and that. It's about that much, and that much can get you beat. Okay? Okay. So what I do is I teach them staggered slight, very slight, and I tell them, hey, the snap hand is like your what? Your down hand. Okay? And I've had centers who like that idea so much, and because they're a center, depending upon what they're doing, they go like this. They'll switch the feet if they've got to pull this way or whatever, and it's only that much. Now, it's hard to see on film, detect that much, especially at the center position. But if you study the center, especially my centers, you might see some of them switch their feet around according to the play being run. And it's only about that much. Only about that much. But because they do it, is what they're doing is they're giving themselves a power foot and a lead foot. Okay? A power foot and a lead foot. When your feet are perfectly parallel, it's very natural to one foot becomes dominant. And if that dominant foot is the direction, is opposite the direction you're going, you'll have no problem stepping. If the dominant foot is to the direction you're going, what'll end up happening is you'll end up stepping underneath yourself to get out, okay? Because you don't feel weight, you don't feel the weight, you don't feel the proper weight distribution. You understand what I'm saying? I know it's a very little thing, but it's important, okay?
Before you go on to your hands, do you teach also the jump technique on pass block?
Yes, but it's primarily for certain types of pass rushers. It's not something I say, hey, this is part of our natural progression. I look at a guy and I go, hey, he's too powerful, too strong, or he's got a hell of a double move, and I'm worried about my guy being athletic enough to handle it, and I say, all right, we're going to jump the guy. You know, we call it a sting. We call it a sting. Okay? Hands tight. All right, what about hands being tight? Okay? When you have your hands tight, okay, you're a better puncher. Hey, how many guys, now this is where we're going to equate to boxing a little bit, okay? I tell my guys, you get your hands out here, you're going to get what? You're going to get knocked out. You're going to get driven. You're going to get bounced into the ropes and you're going to get your butt kicked, okay? Now, you get your hands tight. Why? Because you can operate here, and you have to protect this. You see this area right there? Now, I'll give you a couple little things that really, I think, are very good tools that will help out. But this is what I call the target area. You got to protect your target, okay? Now, and I'll mention this right now because I use them. I have a target jersey. Okay? And this target jersey is nothing more than a bullseye right here. I put it on the NFL players. These guys, that's bullshit. Why do I gotta wear this? I mean, I said, you know why? Because I make $200,000 a year and you make $4 million. This is my chance to feel good about myself. I make you wear a silly ass bullseye shirt, you make $4 million frickin' bucks. You look like, hey, you look stupid. That's about the approach I took with it, because they kept, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I said, hey, that's where football's played. That's your target. I'm gonna show you something. We use it for the run game and the pass game. And they kind of liked it, especially the younger players after a while, because they thought what it is that made them think about how much that's true. Here's what you want to do. In the pass game, I want to what? Protect it. Don't let anybody into my target. Protect it. Keep your hands tight. Protect your target. Okay? In the run game, I don't want his hands there. I want to get that flat back so he can't get to my target right here. Okay? Keep that target here. Because if I open up that target here and those hands get in there, then he's going to stop my charge, my ability to come off the ball. So the target's protected. Now, I had a guy at Kansas when I first did this. I had a guy at Kansas who said, I'm having a hard time with it. I said, you are having a hard time. Because I said, you know what? I said, I'm taking the target jerseys off everybody but you now. You're the only one that's going to have it on because you won't protect your target. And he said, well, I don't know why I can't. I said, well, I don't know why you can't either, because I'm trying to emphasize why you should. So I got this great idea. I called his mother. I said, hey, can you send me a picture of yourself? Anything, Coach. How's my son doing? I said, well, I need it really, really bad. It'll help me coach him up on a few. She says, anything you want, Coach. I said, okay. She sent a picture about that big. Okay? I went in the copier, blew it up 200 times. Boom. Picture of his mom. Went down to his locker, taped it onto his target. He said, what is this? Now, I didn't let him wear it out, because if I let him wear it out there, they'd have really pounded his ass. But the offensive lineman went, what's going on? I said, I put his mom on his target today. You're not going to protect your target. You're going to defend your mom. Because I know your mom's important to you. He says, I think I got the picture now, folks. I mean, he was real serious. And I said, okay. And he did do better that day. But the point is, hey, I was trying to get him to emphasize, hey, how important it is. How important is it? It's real important. You can't play football unless you can defend this area right here. You cannot. What do we say offensive linemen should have their hands where? Inside. Why do you want them inside? Because he who has hands inside controls. They control the block. Well, the hands are in here. They control me on pass pro. The hands are in here. They control me on the run block. I don't want this area touched. It's sacred. Protect your heart. Protect your target. Put a picture up there. Protect your mom. You know? Okay? All right. Hands tight. Now, first thing one of the pro players said to me, he says, hey, Coach, if your hands are real tight like this, they'll slap them out of the way. I said, well, I guess if you were to just leave them right there and let the guy go like this. I said, but that's what you got to be able to. He said, when his hands are like this, he's got it better. I said, well, you don't protect the passer very good anyway, so let's try it my way, okay? All right? So he puts his hands tight like this, all right? And he's so worried about the minute the ball snapped, he'd go, I mean, he would put him back out. So it's another thing I use, and I go just some handcuffs. You just take some old rubber inner tube tires, and I'll put them on and twist it around, and there they are. And now guys can just get them in a preset like this, give them a snap, get them to pass protect with their hands tight. Just something to work on, the idea. They're going to be doing exactly what they do in the game. This is just something to force them to do what? Keep their hands together. Okay? Rather than me saying, keep your hands together, keep your hands together. And Now, I could go invest in what? 10 pairs of true handcuffs. That might be the idea right there. Although, for a couple of those guys, I wouldn't want to unlock them. But, hands tight. Why? Because we want to protect that target area, okay? All right, eyes on target, okay? You have to have your eyes on the target, okay? Now, what's the target? What's the target? Yeah, the middle of his chest. Now, I tell him this. Hey, his target is what you're trying to protect. If you watch his target, you'll make a lot less mistakes. That's hard for some of these guys. Some of these guys, it's kind of like playing golf, okay? You tell a guy to keep his head down and watch the ball, and he takes those nice practice swings, and I'm just as guilty as anybody. There's no finer looking golf swing, guy keep his head down than you have ever seen on the driving range shortly before my game. Smooth swing, don't care about the distance, hit it, go, wow, look, I'm gonna play good today. The minute I get on the first tee box, my buddy hits one out there about 275, I go, son of a bitch, I'm gonna hit this. Forget about all your what? Discipline, all your technique, all the things that make it work, okay? And we're all guilty of it. We're all looking for little tools, to help us, okay? This guy told me one time, he said, I bet if I tied a fish line around your neck and put a snag hook on your balls, you'd keep your head down, because you wouldn't do that. You'd keep that head down. And so I said, well, yeah, that would be a good teaching aid. I don't know how many people would buy it, but it would work. Okay, eyes on target, all right? Leverage to the quarterback. Let me tell you something. Hey, every time I talk, you'll hear the word leverage. Why? Because you cannot play this game without it. If you don't use the term leverage, you're wrong. It goes for everything you do, too. Getting in a car, getting out of a car. Eating dinner, getting underneath the string beans the right way. You use leverage on everything you do. Making love, leverage. You got me? Everything you do is leverage. Somehow you're using leverage, okay? You're creating a position of power, either getting in, getting out, lifting, whatever, okay? You're creating a position of power. Leverage to the quarterback is vital. All players must understand where the launch point is. You must understand where the launch point is. And that is, I'll tell you something, that's amazing. I don't, everybody has a different way of skinning a cat. When I first got to the Lions, they asked me in an interview, they said, how do you call your three-step? And I said, well, we use scat protection, scram protection, auto protection. We have about 5 or 6 different protections, and I said, we use these protections when we want to throw a three-step using that type of protection. We say, quick scat, quick auto. That means what to the line? It's a three-step, still the same responsibility, same assignments, but everything's, it's a three-step drop now by the quarterback, okay? We use the term quick. Most teams just say, well, our three-step games are 90 games, or our three-step games are, 100 game, whatever it is. The reason in pro football we use so many different protections is there's so many different blitzes that we know what protections handle what blitzes. And so what we do is when we throw three-step, we don't want the quarterback hit. And we can probably make the game a hell of a lot more complicated than it is, because you could probably just gap protect and get away with it and run three-step drop. You probably could. But I think it's because we call it professional football, we think we got to add 9 more protections so that we can justify why I get paid and why the players get paid and why everybody else gets paid, I guess. But I don't think sometimes it's quite as hard as we make it, okay? And I think you do the same thing in college, too. And I'm sure in high school, too. After you put it in your system, you go, oh, now I got my system in, I'm going to add this, and because I'm going to be a smart football coach. Hey, key to being a smart football coach, Coach Mason said this, and it's so true. It's not what you know, it's what they know. Because we will know a lot. We will attend the clinics, we will study the film, we will evaluate, but it is really not what we know, it's what they know. Find out how much they can know and do it damn good. Don't try to inundate it with as much as you know. Because I'm going to tell you something. The more they know is good if they execute it well. If they can't execute it, it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. But the most important part of this, what I'm talking about here, is they have to know where the quarterback is throwing the ball from. In other words, they must know to keep leverage to the quarterback. So in other words, if I'm the tackle, left tackle, and I'm pass protected, and it's a 3-step drop, then I'm going to, and I got a guy to my outside, then I'm going to kick off a half a step. I'm not going to get deep. Why? Because I'm going to keep leverage to the quarterback, because I know the quarterback, and I don't care if the guy takes a wide rush, because I'm just going to put my hands on him and punch through him and drive him. Or I'm going to take, Coach said in this particular deal, I can take a short settle step and attack the guy because it's a quick game, and I want to keep his hands down a little bit. But because I understand it's quick, I understand how to protect the quarterback better. Because I understand it's 5-step, I understand how to protect the quarterback better. Now, some people are going to get in here and talk to you sometimes about 5- and 7-step drop, okay? Let me tell you what I think about 5- and 7-step drop. Hey, you can go 5 steps, you can go 7 steps. I don't think it's that important for the offensive lineman to know whether it's 5- or 7-step drop. I really don't. You got to protect the quarterback, you got to get to an intersect point. You get the intersect point, you protect the quarterback. Hey, the difference is about that much. It's not a lot of difference, okay? Because what do you tell the quarterback to do when he feels pressure? Step up. If you got a quarterback that drops and doesn't step up, the problem's with the quarterback. It's not with the offensive lineman. The problem's with the quarterback. What you want to be able to promise your quarterback, your offensive coordinator, your head coach is this. You can drop, get to that point, and you can step up and step up and step up. That's what you can tell them. Because we are going to keep leverage to the quarterback. We are going to protect the inside of that pocket. And anybody that threatens will threaten to the outside, and we'll try our best to push them out by. Your job is to field pressure and step up and step up. And even if you don't, get a natural rhythm of set, don't see it, step up. Why? Because that's where the pressure is going to be. Why? Because that's what we're going to allow it to be. We're not going to allow it on the inside post foot. Inside post foot is going to be there. It's going to be there. Okay? Not going to allow it. All right? Now, we're going with that premise now. And I'll cover a few other things here. All right, no edges. Okay? Now, this doesn't really hold true for for tackles. Tackles are going to have edges by the nature of where they line up. They line up on the outside, and the guy's going to take an edge out there, okay? All right, and he's not going to be able to keep the guy from getting an edge, is he? What he's going to have to do is get to an intersect point and pick him up. But for the center and the guard, we try to tell them, no edges. No edges. And if a tackle has a 5 technique like this, I don't want him creating an edge. Like backing up and like giving him a double edge. I want him now to set into a cover-up position, favoring the inside eye, okay? But get to a cover-up position. Why? Because if he's covered up and there are no edges, there is no rush. If there are no edges, there is no rush. The guy's got to literally come through you to get to the quarterback, which is the ideal thing. If there are no edges, there is no rush. Okay, now, like I said, that's not true for tackles, because tackles, what's my man here, Jeff? Ray can get out here. He can be lined up out there. He's already got the edge by alignment. Now, how can I take that away from him? It'd be simple. Right when I get down here like this, okay? You're going to set 24, 55. I go like that. I wonder what he would do. What the shit's he doing? Would he walk out farther? Because if he did, it'd be ideal, wouldn't it? He'd be about, 35, 40 feet from the quarterback when the ball is snapped, you could probably at that point go ahead, take a shot at him, see if you can get him. You know? You understand what I'm saying? I used to tell offensive linemen all the time when we're blocking the ISO, okay? When you get up there and that guy gets out wide, what happens to you? You go to step here, and what happens now? Your ass is where? In the hole, so he collisions you. That's really not what I want. I said, so if he's out there, hey, what he should do is tell him, hey, just you get. That's why I thought it was always important to have what kind of a stance, a preset, and then a snap down. The reason why, a preset and a snap down allows you to adjust your split on the cadence. You know what I'm saying? So if you say, if I'm like this, you go, set 35, and I see a guy out there, I go, set 35. I can actually step out 3 yards, and now what are you going to do? Go ahead and step out. Okay, it's okay to have my ass in the hole now, because the hole just got about huge. You understand me? I used to coach that a little bit more. Coach Mason used to say, that looks ridiculous sometimes because of tackle. But you know what? Some tackles can do it, and other tackles are afraid. The ones who are very confident in their game, it's amazing. I used to have a guy line up like that, and they go, sit! A 6-foot split or 7-foot split. Mason go, that looks stupid. Somebody's going to come inside. I said, yeah, but until somebody does, he's been told his whole life. Line up 2 yards outside the tackle's outside shoulder. Line up 3 yards outside, you know. Line up on his outside. It's amazing. They move, I can, you know. Hey, coach, he's on the sideline. I'll be out of bounds. They do exactly like we asked them to do it. They do. And I guess only the smart ones understand, well, you know what? Since you got way out there, maybe I'll get inside here. That would be, you know, but then you never see it happen. Okay, all right. Go ahead. You want to get to a cover-up position. So, if I'm going to be a guard, and Rich is my 3 technique like that, he's a wide 3. Well, I've got to take the edge away. I got to be careful about stepping lateral, because if I step lateral, what happens to my post foot? It disappears. So what I want to do is, I'm going to get a little bit of depth and keep that post foot. And I'm going to get to a cover-up position. And that's why, the wider they get, keep the post foot, keep inside, get to a cover-up position. Having a little bit of depth is okay. It's okay. It's not wrong. That's where a lot of guys get confused sometimes. Now, if it's 3-step, quick game, we really don't want to get depth because he'll get in the throwing lane. So now, I'm sitting here like this, and coach says, well, you know, don't give up your post foot, but it's 3-step. What I really got, so what I want to do now is I'll take a short step right here, like that, put my toe right in, and block him almost as if it was a run. And let me just say this. In the 3-step game, the Lions last year were sacked probably 17 times in 3-step draw. Not last year, the year before last. Before I got there. I straightened out the 3-step. We got sacked 1 time in 3-step, and I'll tell you why. Quarterback went like this. And he got sacked. Double pumped it twice to the left, and then turned to his right, and he got sacked. And my guys attacked the guys, and one guy let a guy, you know, get off, and he sacked the quarterback. Okay? Drive block. Drive block. I don't ever see guys get their hands up when you ISO block, you know what I mean? Not that what they do is they try to read the quarterback, but when you engage him, physically engage them, that's the last thing they're thinking about. They're thinking about a guy getting driven, not trying to get their hands up. If you get pressure, here's when a guy gets his hands up. He's running, there's no pressure right there, and he jumps up right here. If you were driving him like this, or putting your hands and giving pressure in his chest, I don't ever see a guy think, oh, you know, I think I'll get my hands up right now. I mean, that'd be like giving in to submission. Because the next thing it would hit would be your back of your head.
You're still doing that with a vertical back to the drive block?
No. On 3-step. on 3-step, and that's where I say, you have to be a little careful. Yeah, we're gonna punch and keep that back vertical if we're already in a cover-up position. So in other words, this guy's right here, and let's say I'm the left guard, like this, okay? All right, well, I might just go, boom, and take him right now. Just a little quick step into him, take him right now, and stay on the line of scrimmage, okay? Keep that vertical back. But if he gets out a little wider here, like this, and I'm sitting there going, well, hey, I can't. Coach doesn't, and he knows that, well, I know it's 3-step, I'm not supposed to be kicking back as a guard. I take him at the line of scrimmage as a guard. Tackles can kick back, what did I say, a half a step. Boom, that's all they can kick back, and then they got to stay there, okay? Guards, I don't want them kicking back at all on 3-step. On 3-step, you're taking the guy now in a cover-up position. If he's in front of you, you take a short step, you take it, okay? If he's got a little width on you, then you take a short step at him, and you drop, and you go block the guy just like a run, okay? You attack a little bit more like run. Now, that's if it's a man-type protection, because you got to remember, there's also a 3-step, what kind of protection? Gap protection, okay? 3-step gap, well, I can't really leave my gap, can I? I can't leave my gap, so I step my gap, and I hold the point until something looks like it'll show my gap, and then I attack it, okay? So my basic thought is this, is that if you're manned up, in other words, your 5 offensive linemen have the 4 down in the mic, all right, or the 3 linemen buck, and you understand, the 3 linemen have buck. In that case, you're manned up, then you got to attack who you're supposed to attack. If it's gap protection, then we're all going to step and hold points on our gap protection. Step and hold the points. And let me just say, I know everybody's got gap protection. All right? I feel like I coach in gap protection better than anybody because I love gap protection because, hey, to me, there's no excuse for anybody ever to get beat on gap protection. And here's what I always tell people on gap protection. Whether it's 3-step or 5-step, if you use gap protection, it's this. 1-step stop. Write this down because this is going to help your linemen really do gap protection a lot better. You need to repeat this. 1-step stop. Hold point to pressure. 1-step stop. Hold point to pressure. Okay? So in other words, if I'm standing here, okay? Let's say that guy right there, he's the nose guard, and he's shading my side, okay? And I'm the left guard, all right? Hey, my gap is the B gap. That's the center's gap right here, okay? Here's the biggest mistake made in gap protection. They step, they see a guy, not coming in their gap, but he's there, he's out there just a little bit, and they drift to him, and this is where the quarterback is, right there, that lane. He's sitting back here. So what we do is we 1-step stop, hold the point right there. I'm going to hold this point, and I'm going to watch for pressure. I will not leave this area until pressure shows. Pressure shows, I'll step off. Because once this center steps and he puts his hands on this guy right here, okay? He's got his hands on him. Once the guard goes, this guy is a beautiful person now. He goes, hey coach, they're doubling me. No way I can get there. You're not doubling them. You're just holding the point looking out here. You're not technically double teaming them. You just hold this point. We're sealing this point. I got my post foot right there. Boom. I'm looking here. All right? 1-step, stop, hold the point to pressure. First. All right? Second, keep your eyes in your gap. Period. If you don't maintain your eyes in your gap, you will break the discipline and the integrity of the protection. You can practice this on air. 1-step stop, eyes in my gap. 1-step stop, eyes in my gap. All right, let's go the other way. Let's go 93 protection. 1-step stop, eyes in my gap. If I've got pressure in my gap, then I'll take it. I don't need to stop. If I don't have pressure in my gap, then 1-step stop, hold the point to pressure. If I've got pressure in my gap, 1-step, take the pressure, and I can take the pressure as long as I have to, okay? And I can drift away, okay? One step stop, hold the point of pressure. Second part of it is keep your eyes in your gap. You have no business, if I'm gap protection this way, like this, turning my eyes back this way. None. Zero. If I see one guy's helmet go like this, I give him a minus. That's another thing a $4 million guy hates. He gets a minus. Oh, I did the job. I said, but your eyes are not where I want them. Because I'm going to tell you something. You're going to do this, put your eyes here, and that guy's going to run a stunt or X move in here, and this guy's going to come running in here, and you're never going to even see it. Because that's your gap. That's your gap. You've got this taken care of by the post foot and that hand right there. Just keep it there. It's as strong as you got. Hey, you got a little bend in your knee? I challenge the guy to get through there. 300 pounder, 400. Hey, Siragusa, come on, man. You got it? I mean, hey, it's not an easy thing to do to attack a guy's post foot and get him knocked back. It's very hard. And if I weigh 275 pounds, I got a bend in my knee, and I got that post foot right there, hey, it'll be like this, get me back. But if it's like this, here, that thing will explode out of it. Okay? All right. Now, let me tell you something about punching. All right. Come on, man.
Charge me.
Yeah. All right. He's a pass rusher. Okay? He's going to rush me. All right, you're ready to rush. Punch, step back, punch, step back, punch, step back, punch, step back. You guys see that drill? Huh? All right, I've been coaching for 27 years. I've yet to see that executed. Not one. Everybody seen a guy punch, step back, punch, step back. I've seen him punch, lock him up. I've seen him punch, fall back and lock up. Hey, there's no double punch. It's either punch and lock or punch, settle and lock. There ain't no, and you know what? If you try to get in all those, hey, I'm a, that don't work. It don't work. Doesn't work, okay? First of all, I don't want to be giving a whole lot of ground anyway. If the guy's over the top of me, I want to punch and lock him. I want to punch and lock him, okay? When I say punch and lock, I want to set, punch, I want to get something going in my hair. I want to grab a little piece of his cloth, jersey, whatever, and I want to lock him up. I don't want to reload, give him a chance to maybe step and not have him step in there, and me step back again. And I don't want to do that. I want to keep him on the line of scrimmage if I can keep him on the line of scrimmage. Okay? So when you do punch drills, I try to get guys, they just lined up right here like this, and they snap, boom, and they punch and they fight them right from there. Hey, it's not drift back. Hey, get on them, work them from right from there. Okay? Now, where you'll see a good punch and reload is on stunts. That's when you can, when they run a stunt, a little X game. In other words, as I step to Rich here and I see him, he's making kind of a move towards the gap. He's not really rushing. They tell stunts. I mean, I used to try to tell you know when a guy's running a stunt. How many times you ever see the guy run this way? Just run through this gap, out that direction. He's trying to pick the tackle and get you to stretch out. I said, you know it's coming, so as you step, you see his the minute you see his shoulders turn slightly right here, as you step, you punch the shit up. Just punch the crap out of it right here. You know what you'll do? Hey, if I'm stepping this way and he's going out when I punch him, I'll redirect him all the way outside the tackle. Punch and reload for the guy coming around, okay? Reload, okay?
What about your intersect?
Huh?
What about the intersect? wide tackle, you got a rush in,
Right.
a wide 7 or a 9 technique, you got a quick tackle. You get to that intersection, like you
Right.
try to punch it in or you try to go ahead and lock up.
I go based on what he goes. What's he doing? Is he going to try to speed rush me? Is he going to try to run over me? My reaction is based on your reaction. In other words, if I'm playing tennis and he hits the ball over there, I'm not going to use my overhead smash technique. I'm going to slide over here and use my forehand. If he hits the ball over here, I'm going to slide over here and use my backhand. If I get right here and I'm the tackle, and he rushes up the field and he's using a speed rush, I'm going to keep working for kicks, keep working for depth, and when he gets to my edge, I'm clamping both hands on him and taking him by. Okay? I kick, and I think he's using a speed rush, and then as I start to open up, he turns at me, I'm going to anchor and punch. Anchor and punch. Anchor. Anchor means drop. Drop anchor, and punch. Why? You don't want to be too high in a screen position. You know how they rush up the field like this? Boom. They're making you think speed rush, and then they come what? With the bull rush. Why do they do that? On the speed rush, you have a tendency to be what? A little high. Because you're kicking, and you're stretching, and you're pushing, and you take the knee bend out. So they get you a little high. Now, the quicker you can kick back, the easier it is. Because that's why a left tackle is so important in the NFL. Because if he can kick back quick, he never really has to come out of the what? The bend. I don't have to come out of the bend, I'm right here. Boom, I take you on the bull. You want the speed, I take you to the outside. If I'm late, a little late, I'm high for the speed, but I can get you. I can turn and get you and ride you. Okay? If you go to bull, I'm in frickin' trouble. Because you're going to hit me, and, you know, if I'm massive like Aaron Gibson, you enter a different time zone. You end up hitting his target, and then you melt somewhere into this giant body. I mean, he's the most massive human being I've ever seen. Most amazing thing about this guy. He's 380 pounds. He can do a Chinese split. Take his hands, lay over, put his chest on the ground, his hands just like that. 380 pounds. He can lie on his back and do a kip up. 380 pounds. Somebody says, you think that guy's a good player? Yeah. But I'm going to tell you something. He'd be even better at 360. And he looks at you like, hey, I say, hey, you should be at 360. And he goes, hey, well, I played at 420 in Wisconsin. I'm going, nobody said that was legal. I'm sure you're coach, and I can't believe he's playing at 420. Did he ever talk to you about weight? Every day. I said, well, hey. Then he got hurt. Now he thinks he fell on his shoulder. I think I mentioned this the other day. He's coming off the ball, and he, was standing this arm across like this, and ended up falling down and landing on his elbow, and comes off the field. I checked him out. Not going to play the rest of the year. I'm going, oh my God, I'm devastated. I had 5 offensive linemen in this 34 game, so I'm having a different lineup every game. And I'm thinking, I'm over there going, okay, now look, hey, don't get hurt. Because you know who goes in next? Me. Don't get hurt. Man, it's panic time, okay? Well, hey, when you go through that, and now all of a sudden Aaron Gibson says, I'll tell you what, Coach, I need to be at 360. I said, boy, we got his attention now. If he gets himself down at 360, he could be one of the best players of all time. Because he's got great feet, great body and balance control for a big guy. And when he kicks back and he gets to that intersect point, it's discouraging. I told the guy, hey, we were just kidding around. You know how a guy rushes and rushes and rushes? In your pass rush drills, you got to rush 3 times in a row. And And I was over there, I was playing like a quarterback. I was going, he drops back, he throws a touchdown pass. You know, I'm doing this, I guess, because I said, we're having a little competition. I go, oh, he throws a touchdown pass. Oh, the guy who caught it throws it back to me, and I'm going to throw it again. Oh, hey. Excuse me, can I get a pizza? 30 minutes, no problem. I got Aaron Gibson over here. I would have fun with the defensive line, just kidding around. They get pissed, and it would get really kind of, And the D-line coach Brian Baker would go, damn, this is getting fun out here. Well, we were making it fun, but Tracy Scroggins, our defensive end, came over to me and said, Coach, have you ever looked at it from that side? He said it's like running at the back of a Target store. You're not sure where it ends. When you look at it, it's like it just keeps on going. It doesn't look like it ever ends. He says, when they're a little thinner or something, it looks a little different. I said, So anyway, those big guys, if they got good feet, that's the best kind of guy you can get. Because they not only can get back to the intersect point, but just the mere presence of them being there like that, is very disruptive to the guy who wants to rush, because he doesn't really see an edge, so he's forced to go through you. And if you weigh 380 or 360, that's not real exciting, Labeled up. What I wanted them was to get, you can get a point for a free man hit. So you settle like this, and you're a guard, there's nobody coming. The tackle looks like he might need a little help. You go over there and punch, get after the guy, or the center looks like he needs a little help. You just turn and boom. You get in there, or the center doesn't need any help at all. He's got the guy stopped, but you want to go over there and give him a good little rib shot. Hey, that's how the game's played. In other words, we want to make it as tough on you as possible, and when it can't get any tougher, we're going to make it a little tougher. In other words, hey, this guy's beating me. Now this guy's beating me. Hey, I didn't even get off this guy. Why are you coming over here? Hey, I want them to think that, hey, we're looking for you. We're looking for you. Hey, if we got a free guy, if you don't want us looking for you, you got to bring 5 guys. You got to bring 5. You don't want us looking for you. You bring 3, there's going to be 2 guys who are hunting. Okay? If you bring 4, there's going to be 1 guy hunting. Okay? So that's kind of the attitude we want to have. All right? Obviously, the finish. Too many times in pass protection, the thing that sacks a quarterback is the willingness or the effort of the defender to finish. The tenacity or the tenaciousness or the desire to finish. You must be a finisher. By being a finisher means, hey, I got this guy, I'm not going to let up, I'm going to push him as hard as I can till the whistle blows. I'm going to ride him as hard as I can till the whistle blows. I'm going to punch. I've seen guys do this a couple times, and it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. Guy come in here, boom, punch the guy, and then, hey, he's punched him twice. And he thinks, now what? The ball, you've heard it. I thought the ball was, I thought they threw the ball because he threw it last time we ran the play. He threw it, 1, 2, 3, it was gone. Well, I said, you know what? Hey, you block and you block and you block and you block and you block until some official says, hey, I told you you got to stop on the whistle. You understand me? Yes, sir. That's how you got to block. You got to block. In other words, okay. We're boxing. We're fighting. Okay. Ding! Sorry, didn't mean to do that. You understand? Huh? It's not the first time you're going to hit it. Well, at least I didn't hit you with a pot and pan like White. Exactly. All right. But you understand? I mean, there's a psychology in the game. I mean, you're not supposed to, stop. Oh, looks like the ball's getting thrown here. Ease off, big boy. No, that's not how it works. It's, hey, I've had defenders go like this, they see the ball being thrown like this, and they're looking like this, and my offensive guard go, boom! Just bury it. Now, The problem is there's certain guys that have that attitude and certain guys that don't. The more guys that have that attitude will increase your opportunities to win, because what you do is you defeat your team, your opponent, psychologically. Not just by physical execution, but you beat them psychologically, okay? You beat them, I mean, hey, it's just like when a guy drives a guy 13 yards down the field, like we talked about yesterday. You get him 13 yards down the field, and he comes off of that, and what happens? He gets back, guys in the huddle going, were you a nickel guy now or what? I mean, no, I know you play defensive line, but like that's where our nickel safeties line up back here. I mean, guys like to jab each other, you know. What happened to you? What were you doing back here? Were you playing cover 3, deep third? You know, I mean, they do that. They jab him, or they don't do it to him. They go, hey, you see Bob playing the deep third back here? You know, and he's pissed. And you know what normally happens too is the guy that gets driven. This is unbelievable. I've seen it about 2 or 3 times. I always love this. He gets driven like this. I love being on the sideline when I see one of them, because you can really have fun with it. Because you can go, hey, I thought you were a linebacker. What are you doing back here? God damn it, you're 15 yards down the field. What the heck, you drop it on this? It was a run play, didn't you read it? You know? I mean, they get pissed. But here's one of the things they do. They go, you get driven like this, they throw you off, and they look at you like this. And then they walk back, and then they're looking around like, I don't wonder if anybody saw me get knocked back that far. I mean, but they act like they're real tough. They finally, the whistle blows, and they go, and they get rid of you like this. And then they look at you like, there, I showed you. And then all of a sudden they realize, man, I'm a long way from that line of scrimmage. Then they start looking around like, hey, did they see me? So my point is that there's a psychological part of the game. Find work. Find work. Beat your opponent up mentally. Okay? All right. Just a little phrase I have. I tell guys all the time. You got to win the first 1.5 seconds of the rush. Win the first 1.5 seconds of the rush, and you what? What happens? You win the rush. Now, what does that basically mean? What's that basically mean? Huh? That means if you take a good set, get your hands up quick, and get into a contact position, cover up position in the first 1.5 seconds, he cannot get to the quarterback. He won't get to the quarterback in time to sack. He may force a little pressure every now and then, or maybe get a little hurry, but hey, if you win the first 1.5 seconds, you win the rush. So, what's the emphasis on? Proper set, proper set, proper set, proper set, proper set. If you take a proper set, you can win the first 1.5 seconds of the rush. If you don't take a proper set, you can lose the first 1.5 seconds of the rush. So a proper set is highly critical. In other words, you want to finish, you got to get started. You want to finish, you got to get started. Because if you don't get started, you can't finish. You can't finish. Okay? All right. Set and body posture are critical. They're absolutely critical. Got to talk to your offensive lineman all the time about that. All right, okay. All right, let's talk about the concepts of 3-step drop, okay, which we started talking about a little bit. All right, you want an aggressive short set, an aggressive short set. Now look, guys, there's all kinds of protections. Like I said, there's gap protection. There's a 6-man protection with the tight end. There's a 6-man protection with the back. There's a 7-man protection with the tight end in the back or 2 backs. There's an 8-man protection with the tight end and 2 backs. Okay? So there's an 8-man protection with 2 tight ends and 1 back. Okay? There's all different kinds of protections. You can gap protect, you can man protect, you can dual read, you can do all this stuff. But the fact of the matter is, when you do quick game, the most important part of quick game is it's an aggressive, on the line of scrimmage, anchor up immediately, short set, and attack him, okay? And attack him means get physical with the guy, because even if you lose the guy by being physical. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's very common in the NFL. 5-step drops, okay? Guy is short set. You said jump, somebody said jump over here. Do you jump, guys? Yeah. Here's what happens. If you got a non-athletic tackle, okay, I'm not a very good athlete, okay? And you're Tracy Armstrong with the Dolphins. You got 16 sacks and looking for number 17 on this rush right here, okay? All right, I line up right here just like this. I'm going, whoa. He's already got 2 sacks for today, and it's only the 3rd play of the game. Something's got to change. So, well, how am I going to fix that? That's when we jump set them. Okay, well, there's a lot of, or quick set them, or short set them. And there's a lot of that being done in the NFL because this guy does not believe, or the line coach doesn't believe, that he can handle them with a kick step and way. So what they do is they slide out like this and jump right in front of them, right now. I mean, they just slide right in front of them, right now. Here's the biggest problem with that. Extremely hard to pick up stunts. I mean, extremely. And the linemen, if you allow them to do it, they like it because they can get the guy right away, and now it's a big guy standing in front of this guy, and he can't get off the line of scrimmage, and he can't get his rush started, and so there's merit. There's merit to it. But you can't pick up stunts. It's not I think it's a kind of an advisable thing to use quick sets and jump sets, or however you want to call them. We call them stings. To use them on first down and maybe second down and medium. The reason why is it's a good changeup. It's a good changeup. 2, less chance of a stunt, less chance of them running some kind of pass stunt on you. Okay. All right. So now you can, and plus it adds to the psychology of the game. You attack the guy, and it was a drop back, it was a drop back pass. You slid out there and jumped on right away, and it was a drop back pass, 5-step drop. So it's kind of confusing for him. But if you think you're going to line up and do that on 3rd down, and which I see teams try to do, which means this. Which means this exactly. They're willing to give up. They're saying the quarterback's going to get rid of the ball before he gets hit. Now, let me just say something too. You know how many quarterbacks go down in the NFL? It don't matter whether you're college, high school. They go down. If you let them get hit, they're going to go down, okay? Because they're really not built like linebackers or running backs. They have a tendency to be a little more slim, a little more frail looking, and so they're going to get some injuries. Now, how you help yourself on that is simply this, okay? I don't care what level I'm at, the gun is going to be in. The gun. You know why? They can let them all loose. Snap the ball, I can catch it, drop step. Nobody can block, not a single guy up there. And I got a chance to get rid of the ball. I got a chance. Might be a small one, but I still got a chance to get rid of the ball, okay? If I snap the ball from here, and you got to sprint back there, 5 steps, and they miss somebody, I got no chance. I got none, 0 chance to get rid of the ball. That's why people who operate from the gun are usually your better pass teams, and you usually have better sack versus throws percentage, okay? The reason why is the quarterback can get back there, he can catch the ball, he's already looking downfield, he can feel it better, he's not catching and sprint and trying to turn and get his feet set, and then, there's a lot of other things going on, okay? So what I'm saying to you is this, is the gun is critical to protecting the quarterback. It is. It's critical. It's critical. If I was going to try to protect the quarterback, I had a guy who's a great thrower, there's 2 things I would do. I would use a gun, and I would use some form of dash where he's in the gun, he catches it, and then he takes off and rolls out, and you seal the inside, pull a guard, get the back loaded, and get him outside the perimeter. Why? You want to talk about reduction of stunts? You want to talk about reduction of the amount of things you can get? You want to talk about keeping your quarterback healthy? Those things keep your quarterback healthy, okay? Keep your quarterback healthy, all right? Emphasis, 3-step drop, short step, snap out of stance. Every time we talk about doing pass protection, we want to snap out of our stance. The quicker we can get our hands up to our target, the quicker we can get our eyes on their target. Our hands must get to our target, and we must get our eyes on their target. As quickly as we can get that done, the better. As quickly as we get it done, the better. All right?
Yeah. Before you go any further, take that through from a run stance to a quick stance.
Well, let me tell you something. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as a run stance unless you're in the wishbone. If you're in the wishbone, there's a run stance. If you're in any other kind of offense, you're throwing the ball 40% of the time, then I don't believe there's a run stance, pass stance. You got to get into what I call balance stance, and that's the way it is, okay? So, hey, it's this right here, okay? All right? And it's boom, just as quickly as I can do. They see that? Close foot stays here. Hey, all I'm going to do is take a short step. Now, if the guy was lined up on the inside of me right here, okay, and I was doing 3-step drop, it'd be boom. I'm actually going to step a little bit what? Up into the guy, and then set that post foot right there, okay?
You were setting before like there was a pass.
Like I was set
Off, you didn't have your hand down.
No, I know. Well, hey,
I was just trying to figure out if
let me tell you something.
you were suggesting that you have to.
I want to tell you something here, just so you know. Okay? All right. I'm 50 years old. I look 40 and I act 25. But my body is 50 years old. You understand me? Okay, when I get up in the morning, shit hurts. Okay?
Gotcha.
All right.
I was just trying to figure out.
Hey, when you don't see me in a snapping out at 3-point, hey, it's a task for me to get in a 3-point stance. There's a lot of things I did at 30 that I don't do anymore. You want to name a few of them? Huh? Okay. All right.
So, Coach,
I waved goodbye to 50 a while ago.
Yeah.
put your guards in on the center's ass and the line.
Huh?
Put me in the feet.
Oh, where the guards set? All right, the guards, I tell them to line up 1 inch off the center's heels. And if I got a long, my guards, the kind of guards I like are 6'3", 6'2", 6'4" guys. So, but sometimes you get a guy who's a long-waisted guy, I tell him to go ahead and get back a little farther. But you can kind of gauge it. When we first line up, sometimes I'm not sure exactly how I want them, but I do know I want their helmets into the belt buckle, and a lot of times the top of their shoulder pads into that belt buckle. Okay, I want to be deep but not too deep. Deep but not too deep. If you're too deep, then you got to actually step up on everything for pass protection. You don't want to get in a position where you're so deep that your center has to kick back violently to get to that even plane. Okay, you want to. Hey, the center ought to be able to snap the ball and settle 1 step back, and everybody be on the same level. Okay. All right. So I basically say 1 inch off the center's heels is where my toe goes. Okay. Now, here's one thing I've found. A lot of times your offensive linemen go ahead and they start their stagger. I see a lot of you guys and a lot of pro teams. Guys get lined up shitty. I'm talking about shitty now. Right tackle, and you know what? Let me just tell you something. I think it's important to look good. When you watch your film, you want to look good. You want to look good. You want the offensive line. Hey, wow, those guys are lined up good. I even tell them. I go, damn, you guys look like you're going to a formal. Got all the accessories. Got your cummerbund, your bow tie. You're looking good. He's laughing. I said, what's so big deal whether hey, it looks. You know what? When something looks good, you just got a good feeling that what's going to happen. Something good's going to happen. Sometimes that helps create a attitude on your offensive line. Hey, shit, we look good. Well, hey, you got to get up there. And when I tell these guys, because all of them will get their presets like this. Now, they're already in a preset before they go down. They've already got their stagger foot. It's not the old, line up, feet parallel, and step back to your stagger. They all get up there and they, hey, I set my toe like that. And I'm getting ready to go down here like this on snap. And what happens is this guy, he lines up out here, and he puts his inside foot on your outside foot. So now all of a sudden our line's going like this because of the stagger. You got to put my inside foot has got to be on your inside foot. It's a little thing you got to coach, but you got to coach it up right away because some guys will get up there and they'll already take a pre-stagger And it's confusing to the tackle when he's out there. He just looks at that foot and lines up. Next thing you got a line that looks like that. And that's not good. What you want to do is you want a line that looks like a line. Not like an arrow. A line. Okay?
What do you do with the post hand? Place it on the knee, on the side? You have a preference?
Yeah, I got a preference. I got the elbow resting on the knee. Yep. The forearm resting on the knee. Hey, I don't, you know, Notre Dame did that, and everybody wanted to copy it one year. And then all of a sudden, you know, two guys do it in pros, and everybody's copying it. Hey, I have no idea why that hand's back here feeling. Hey, if you're feeling your own ass on national TV, hey, I don't know what this is, or this, or this. I mean, I'm not sure what all that is and why it was ever developed. No one's ever given me a good reason why people do that. Huh?
It started with.
Yeah.
That's why.
I don't know. Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, there are certain things I've never been able to figure out. Okay? I mean, and I'll tell you, it's like Randall. Have you ever seen Randall McDaniel? His stance? I ain't never been able to figure that out. And you know what? This guy's been all pro, all pro, all pro, all pro. Now let me tell you something. Hey, I've seen him in about 7 games. Hey, he just looks like another guy to me. Now, they said, oh, he was much better back, but he just looks like a guy. That's all he does. Hey, I think he got in that stance because people started to watch what he did. And if he did a pretty decent job, hey, you know, look at Randall McDowell and that crazy. It's like his leg's broken. But I mean, I don't ever see him just knock people off the ball. He just steps off the ball, he throws his hands out there, and grabs it. And he gets called for a holding less than any guy I've ever seen. And he got both hands on the outside. And I'm going to tell you something. You do this. Watch him. He plays at Tampa Bay now. Watch him. Watch him. Just, yeah, I'm going to watch this guy this time. Watch him. You'll see. The first thing he'll do is throw his hands out just like this. Now, it must be because, hey, maybe back 10 years ago before I started watching him, he might have been a hell of a player and developed a hell of a reputation because I've had a couple guys tell me that you know, he was a lot better way back when. But right now, he's just a guy. But he gets in a crazy stance and it brings a lot of, see, sometimes here's what I think happens. Since we brought it up, where to put the hand, oh, wait, here's what I think happens. We're in a team game and we got guys that still want to be what? Individuals. That's not the whole point of being a team. Being part of the team is being together. Being together is being strong. Being strong is winning. When we got guys that want to be different, hey, they need to play tennis, golf. They need to get out of a team game. Hey, do your own thing. This is a team game. And we lose sight of that too. You know, hey, I'm going to tell you, in the XFL, that's a great idea, really. Great idea. Get the cheerleaders on there as much as possible. He hate me, you know, is your deal. Hey, that's a bunch of bullshit. Hey, we lost the idea of team. There's no camaraderie here. Everybody's on their own schedule, their own deal. Hey, what's in it for me? You know what? I hope it fails. I hope it fails miserably. Not because of opportunities for us coaches, because it's a shitty product. It's terrible. It's ridiculous. If they asked me to do, I would say no. The one thing I like about the NFL is team. You're going to dress the way you're supposed to. You're going to get. Hey, they get in trouble for trying to put all that shit on. They get fined. Now, people say the NFL is excessive because they get a lot of the rights to it, but I don't care. We look like a team when we go out there. There ain't one guy with "he hate me" or "I'm bad" on his jersey, or a big rag hanging out of his deal, or over there talking to the cheerleaders during the game. Come on. Team. 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 If they don't understand the concept, if you don't understand the concept, then you need to get out of this game. That's the whole point. Everything we do in life, whether it be your family, team, me, my wife, my daughter, my son, my dog, family, team. You defend your team. You fight for your team. You believe in your team. You care about your team. You go, hey, I work for Microsoft. Team. They don't want to get broken up. Why? Because they feel dominant. They feel good. They're a team. They're a team. If I was a goddamn judge, I'd be saying, hey, I would, rather than break them up, I'd be saying, hey, you know what? Why don't some of you other guys get together and build your own team that's better than their team? My suggestion is, hey, Sun Microsystems, Cisco, you three guys merge and kick Microsoft's ass. You know? I mean, let the team be a team. If a team can be dominant, hey, that promotes competition. I don't like, hey, when we're playing the Minnesota Vikings, I'm going, oh, yeah, it's unbelievable. These guys just make plays. I can't believe it. I mean, I buckled down. I tell our guys, we got to beat these guys. I mean, we can't let this team. I mean, by being a good team, you're telling the other teams, get ready to play. And that promotes the competition and it promotes your desire. Hey, is it more fun to beat a number 1 or a number 9? Huh? Is it more fun to kick your sister's ass or Muhammad Ali's ass? Huh? I mean, my point is that's where the joy of being on a team becomes. I was on a football team, my first coaching experience, 1973. Started the Sports Illustrated Jinx. Number 1 team in the country, Sports Illustrated, always got beat before the end of the year. And they said, hey, whoever the Sports Illustrated picks gets beat. Usually early. Well, hey, we're playing Texas. They got Roosevelt Leaks and all these guys, and we're just a bunch of hungry, want to do good guys. But we're playing them, and it's like 10-9 or something at halftime, and we're like going, hey, we can win. We're playing at our play. We're going, we can win. We didn't think we could win, but we wanted to go out and play hard. We now thought we could win. And we were so hungry, and they were sitting there going, Jesus Christ, we're number 1 in the country. It's opening ball game. We're down 10-9 on the road. You know what happens? It scores like I want to say 15 to. I'm trying to remember now. It doesn't make a difference. We're ahead by like 4 points. Okay. They got the ball with less than 2 minutes to play. They run an option and pitch it to this kid. I'm standing on the sideline. I mean, we are so into this game. Everybody is. So into it. Guy runs the sideline, starts down the sideline. There's nobody to catch him. He's running for a touchdown. Less than 2 minutes to play, he's going to score a touchdown from 60 yards out. He's running like this. We got 3 guys running right behind him like this. Only one thing is, there are guys faster than our 3. That was evident when he turned the corner. But they're chasing him. Hey, they're chasing him. They haven't given up. Here's what happens. He's running like this. You remember the old days when they had those big old flaring hip pads? He's running like this, and he takes that ball, and it hits that hip pad. His hand comes back here, and it hits that hip pad on the way back. And the ball comes out of his hand, falls on the ground. That's unbelievable. The other 2, right behind him, I'm watching them right on the sideline, they run right by the ball. No! It's right here! The 3rd guy fell on it, and we won the game. And I thought, you got to be kidding me. That's how we won the game? That's how we won the game. Because we never really gave up, because we hung in there, because we played like a team, because everybody said, we got a chance to beat the number 1 team in the country. Let's do it. You know what I mean? It was the unification of a bunch of guys who maybe were never unified, never felt close, were just all of a sudden, in a matter of moments, was like this. You're not going to break the bond. And yeah, we did get lucky, but that's what good teams do. They get lucky. Okay? All right, let's get back to this 3-step stuff. Here we go. Do not get around. Maintain leverage in the quarterback. All right? We talked about all that. All right? Let's talk about 5-step. Emphasis is on control. Emphasis is on control and getting in a cover-up position. Emphasis on control. Okay? Snap out of stance. Cover up, no angle. All right, you gotta be. You gotta be more aware of angle awareness. Okay? And this is preferably for the tackles more than the guards. Although I'll show you a stunt real quick that really kind of. I mean, and I'm embarrassed to say. Maybe it was because I was a little bit of a rookie, but Tampa Bay did it to us, and I mean, it kicked our ass. They sacked us 7 times. 7. 3 of them off of this one right here. And I was so frustrated because I was trying to get him to step out there quick to get the guys, but we were having a hard time doing it. Okay, you defense. Hey, you guys. Hey, now look. How many guys in this room? How many guys coach defense? All right. Hey, now look. Don't go tell everybody this stunt because all you're gonna do is cause a lot of problems for the offensive guys. So just use it against the 1 or 2 teams who want to beat all year, and then say, hey, I don't know, they lined up the wrong way. Okay? Because see, offensive coaches get fired when they can't pick up this shit, or they lose their job and they have to come out here and do clinics. Got it? Okay. Here it is. They put their defensive end, or actually it was defensive tackle. Here, I got a little too loud. He normally played a 3. He lined up here, like this. Their defensive end lined up there like that. And that was Marcus Jones. He's pretty good. Okay, that is number 99. You know who number 99 is? Tampa Bay. That's, hey. Warren, I look like I'm pregnant, Sapp, okay? Who does not play pregnant. I mean, he's unbelievable. He got a big old belly. He walks around. I have never, hey, he's got great quickness, great desire to play the game, plays hard. Hey, he's unbelievable. All right, he lines up right here. So now, what does Coach Ruel say? What do I got to do? Us 2 are blocking these 2. What's my first thing I want? He's going to do what? He's going to kick to the intersect point for him. Okay? Fading with a little bit of leverage. Okay? Fading with a little bit of leverage, trying to get to the intersect point. Okay? All right? He is going to now have to do a little bit of the same thing. He can't step lateral, so he's got to kick a little bit like a tackle does, which he doesn't normally do. Okay? But he kicks. All right? Let me tell you what they did. What do you think this guy did on the snap of the football? Did he drive to the quarterback? Here's what he did. On the snap of the football, he attacked the tackle. That tackle was going back, and he's reaching for the tackle like this. What? That's for the take run out?
Oh, no,
that's all you got left? It's not all I got left. All right, here we go. He's kicking back. All right, he's kicking back. All right, now I'm going to tell you, this is very important. You understand this. That tackle, as he's kicking back, why don't you stand up here, Randy? I'll show you what's going on. I'm looking at Ray out here. All right, and this is Warren Sapp. He actually kind of look a little bit like him. All right, you're a little taller. Okay. Anyway, I'm the tackle. I'm starting to kick back, and he's doing like this. So he's coming right at me. What do you think I'm thinking? They're running the stunt. They weren't running the stunt. He was attacking me. I think they're running a stunt. So my guy says, oh shit. Coach Ruel says, this guy never works to me without them running a stunt because the quarterback's over there. So what he did is he went, and the end went, right straight in. He went, I guess he saw it, and he thought, oh, here it comes. He's coming here, and stopped and going underneath. You understand what I'm saying? They thought that the pick stunt was coming up. The pick stunt never came. Guard, he shuffled out there like this. What'd you let him go for? Well, he was right on top of me. I thought he was coming to me, and we were pass off. So I said, no. I said, hey, look. You got to ignore this guy. You got to ignore him. You got to look out here. Don't worry about it. So he kicks on the next time. Boom. He feels him again. He's putting his hand. Got beat again. Same stunt 2 times in a row. Coach Ross. Coach Ruel, can I talk to you for a second? I'm like, oh my God. I'm going, hey. Well, first thing I said was, hey, Sly, Sylvester Cream, I said, hey, could we not run that protection anymore? I was like, I don't know what to tell these guys, because if I tell them, ignore it, kick deeper, and they run the stunt, we're going to get screwed. Because they do run the stunt quite a bit, but they weren't running it. So here was the answer. The next time we played them, and we kicked their ass, all right? We still got sacked a couple times, but it was not because of this. Here's what we did. He lined up out here. He made a diesel call. Diesel meant I got a big fat guy over me. Okay? I'll take him, and you take him. Why? Now they didn't stretch us, they didn't attack, they didn't make a guy think. Because I'm going to tell you something, if you're going back and a guy's coming into here, you're not sure. I mean, you've been trained so much. As you kick, here it comes, switch. You understand? A guy doesn't run to you unless they're what? Running the switch game. You see what I'm saying? All right, so now, go ahead and use it, but don't be using it against me. Because I got the diesel call. All right?
When's he reading the stunt?
Huh?
Backing up, right? The guard's backing
Yeah,
up.
the guard doesn't see the stunt. He doesn't. All he sees is he's kicking. He sees this guy trying to work the tackle, and he's looking, but he's going to take the first thing it shows. So he's got his hands like almost on the tackle at this point, and the tackle. Oh, let me tell you, it's so critical that the offensive tackle keep his eyes focused on the outside end at all times, period. He can't be worried about this in here. But when they do is when, and here's, I forgot to tell you, here's how this guy rushed. This is probably what kills him, okay? Here's how he rushes. Marcus Jones gets lined up like this, and he goes 1, 2, raise up, and boom, boom. Why'd he raise? Yeah. 1, 2, raise up, come underneath. 1, 2, raise up, and keep going. My guy just went, oh, here's the ticket to the quarterback, tell him I said hello. Yeah. Shoot. Not real good. But the next time we play them, okay. All right. Remember, okay, short intersect points, right? Gotta get your intersect points. Okay. Trust your sets. Here's what I'm gonna tell you something. You gotta keep telling your tackles this. They're the ones that are the worst at it. They gotta block the outside rushers. Here's how they all want to do it. The reason they do it like this is because they don't believe in their feet. They don't believe in their feet. Their hands come out, they don't believe in their feet. You got to kick with your hands in tight. It gives you a better kick, 1, and 2, you're in a better position to punch. You're not going to give up your target on a bull rush, okay? So trust your set. And here's what the thing is too. Guys look at the guy out there, you know, and he looks skinny. Yeah, he's got a little tight ass. He's got sleek legs, looks like a gazelle. All right. Hey, coach said, wow, he's really good. Okay. So now I'm going into the game, and I don't feel too good about it. Hey, you don't need to coach. You don't need to tell your player. One of the pro linemen told me, says, "Say, how come you never say anything about the other team's guys?" I said, look, I always tell you what kind of moves they make and what kind of rushes they do. I'm not here to praise them or tell you how good they are. I don't really give a. All I know is if you take a good set, you'll handle it. If you do this right, you'll take care of it. You got to coach and promote confidence in your players. Do not talk about the other players Hey, talk about your players. You can do this. You can be good at it. You're the one that's going to beat this guy. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, I'm in your corner. I'm your guy. I'm the guy that's going to help beat this guy. Hey, you can do it. These techniques work. Don't say, oh, I'm telling you what. This guy's, whoo, man, you got your hands full. What's that tell? Hey, now, he might take the, hey, if he's a good player, he might say, well, I'll show you, coach. But if he's not a real good player, you're hurting. You're hurting the guy. Okay. Drills used, 5-man set drill. I'm just going to go over a couple things right here. I'm going to tell you something. Hey, this is some of the stuff you guys need to, stuff that I think is good to work on, okay? You shake both ways. All 5 guys get lined up. You shake both ways. Now what you do is that those guys will attack the line of scrimmage. You go set, hit, and what they do is everybody, if a guy's on the inside half, I take my inside post foot, cover him up to the inside, okay? If I'm on the right side and he's working to my stagger foot, then I'm gonna work to the cover-up position, okay? Work to the cover-up position, keeping the inside half, the inside post foot up, okay? All right? So you can work this drill with everybody going. Here's what you want to concentrate on. You want a quick set, tight hands, and a punch. Quick set, tight hands, and a punch. And good body posture, which means what? You got to have that inside post foot up, and you got to have your knees bent, okay? All right, then you get head up. When you get head up, you got to assume that it probably might take a little bit of a, it could take an inside move. So what are we going to do? Saddle step with the inside foot. Just a saddle step. You don't need to jump inside. If you jump inside on a head up, what's going to happen? You're going to create a what? You're going to create an edge on the outside. Don't create edges. Hey, it's head up. That's ideally exactly where I want you, right there. So just take a little saddle step just to the inside in case he does what? Makes a quick move to the inside, you're in perfect shape. Just a saddle step. I'm not moving. Watch what happens. Boom. Okay, it's not this. Don't lean, don't tilt, vertical back. The back always stays vertical. You're playing as if you've got a rod right down your head through your spinal column and it's in the ground. It's like you're on a merry-go-round. That's the way you are. You're never like this, ever. You get like this, he makes a double move, you're done. Keep your body balanced.